Con toda tu bellaquera, da la vuelta y bájala, ese trasero mata. Comienza el perreo de la raza, sácatela y baila. Ey, el tema guasa guasa. Mira, ey, ese burita pegadita, no eres rookie, tú te la quitas. Una chica y bien linda, retumbando sin perder el compa. Baby, trata, traca, ta, ta, ta. Se sale una y otra más. Saca, sácatela. Empezó el revolú y vamos allá. Suéltala con toda tu bellaquera. Da la vuelta y bájala, ese trasero mata. Comienza el perreo de la raza. Sácatela y baila. El tema guasa guasa. Hierba blanco, fumándolo un rato. Baby, yo no alcanzo. En la nube me quedo toda la noche.
Life has a real funny way of reminding you of your humble beginnings, of where you came from. You're probably like, what a way to start the vlog. Anyways, y'all. Hey, yo, what it do? It's your boy, Rue. Welcome to my week in the life. This is a 6-mile hike. Some footage from it that I did with one of my good Judies, Jay Messiah. This is the first time we actually met up to have a conversation. We kind of grew apart as we got older, you know, mental health and just life, you know. And we had a really good conversation. It was about a 3-hour hike. We talked about everything. We laughed a lot. And we just made a new memory, you know. We shared a moment with each other. It was really fun. It was really good. You know, sometimes because of distance and time, we think that something is one way when in reality it's not. You know, I think one of the things that I try to remind myself is that everybody's going through something. And yes, they should communicate it. No, yes, they could communicate it. But you also shouldn't lead in assumption, you know? So that's a lesson that I learned from us talking and, you know, clearing everything up. But yeah, this is me stretching at one of my favorite spots on this hike. That tree back there that you're gonna see me, boom, right there. Yeah, that tree has a heart carved into it. I have a really funny story about that. I think I shared it on one of my vlogs earlier in like September. Yeah, so this is Jay just dancing, vibing out, hitting that ganja. Yes. We sat by the river post. We had a good conversation. We're in deep conversation right now, talking about friends, talking about life. And we made it to the end of the hike. And it was really, really fun. And this is us walking back. I was exhausted, but we had a good time, man. We sang a lot of songs. It was so good. It was really good to connect with a friend again. So shout out, Jay. No, because la chinga madre. All right. It has been raining. Hey, yo, what it do? It's your boy, Rue, and welcome back to my YouTubes. Nonstop. It's really annoying. Of what's really been going probably on. Hear the rain in the background. Just wanted to come on in this video. It has been raining in my I dropped a video for like the past give you guys a little life update. Nonstop. Saying that I was actually what's really been going on.
Nobody asked.
All right, y'all, let me catch you guys up. So basically, I have been really focusing on the gym the past few weeks. The Barcelona trip really kind of like woke me up, I guess. Like when I was editing and hearing myself breathing in the camera, like y'all don't just hear it, like I hear it too. Hearing myself breathing in the camera, feeling the pain that I was feeling in my back from being so inactive. You know, there was a moment that when we were in the club that I cried because like my back locked up from dancing.
Try being my size, Amy. You don't know how it is.
There's stuff you can do. You want to be a big baby about everything.
I ain't baby. You're the damn baby.
Grow the up.
You first.
Bitch, I've been grown. I pay my bills. My bills are paid.
You know, and it's kind of wild to be in your 30s and these things are happening, but it's because for the past like 6 months I've been so inactive. I've been just like in bed, and that hella woke me up. Like I was like, yo, when I get back home, like it's gonna be a wrap. I got back home, I took a week off just to let the jet lag and all that wear off and catch up on sleep, because we barely slept in Barcelona. I barely slept. And I got right to it. I was like, the only way to it is through it. Okay. So I got right in the gym. I paid that gym membership. I got into the gym. And I told myself, you're going 7 days a week, Lord willing. And I've been keeping my promise, with the exception of last week. Last week, I got a little gig at the Amazon warehouse. And we're going to do a little story time about that one because they had me fucked up. But I got a little gig at the Amazon warehouse. And, you know, I still kept up with my gym routine. I was working third shift, and I still kept up with my gym routine. But, like, by day 3, it was like, yo, pain. My legs were in pain. Everything was in pain. And when I do the story time about Amazon, because I'm going to start doing story times with y'all, then you guys can know exactly, like, let me turn this way. You guys could know exactly, like, what happened. But anyways, I've been doing good. Right now, like this week, and I'm going to say this. I feel like when you're going on a weight loss journey, a lot of people are going to have critiques. A lot of people are going to have their opinions and what they think you should do, but they don't follow it. Which is why I try not to put my shit out there no more, because it's like, that's really frustrating. That's really like annoying. Like, let people just go through their process. And I'm going through my process, and I'm not preaching like, you know, I'm meal prepping every day and I'm gymming I'm just living my normal life, but I'm just trying to do better. I'm at the gym. I told myself I'm going to gym. I rambled, sorry. I told myself I'm going to gym for 90 minutes a day, Monday through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm only going to commit to an hour because I lift Monday through Thursday. So I do a lift and a cardio session. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I've been just doing cardio. Whether that be hiking the 6-mile hike y'all saw that I did with George, or whether that be me going to the gym and just locking in for an hour. I really just do the treadmill at an elevated level. I'm good with what I'm doing. I'm happy with what I'm doing. And I think that's the most important thing, is that you're happy with what you're doing. You feel like it's manageable. And when the time comes to elevate, I don't know if y'all could hear that the whole time. I totally forgot. Sorry. When the time comes to elevate and change the workout, then I'm glad, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it harder and stuff. But I'm just getting back into things. I'm getting back into the swing of things. I'm actually on my way to the gym right now to lock in for my Saturday 1-hour cardio. I'm waking up, and that's pretty much it. I've been just focusing on my fitness. Hopefully we see some amazing results in 6 months into a year. But for right now, I'm enjoying the journey, and I'm reminding myself to trust the process, because Every time I did it before, it was for someone else. It was for gratification. It was to prove this. It was to do that. This time I said, fuck it. I'm doing it for me. I don't want to hear anybody else's advice. I know what I need to do. I've studied enough. I've done it enough. I've heard everything you could possibly hear. I just need to do it. And that's what I've been doing. So, yeah. I wanted to come on here and say that. Why? I don't know. But I wanted to. Anywho, hopefully that message resonates with someone. And let me go ahead and drive off and head to Le Gym.
What was that?
All right, y'all. So I definitely want to do something different that I don't see a lot of content creators do. But I want to give y'all a tour of my website. Why? Because I paid for this and it looks good, in my opinion. First of all, before anything, let me break down the history of web design for you. So I've been web designing since I was about 13 years old. Started off on GeoCities. If you know what GeoCities is, shout out. I know my cousin Shakira knows. Started off on GeoCities. Started off on X Pages, EXPAGES. We learned HTML and coding in the 5th grade at North Central Elementary here in Lawrence, no longer around. With Mr. Ippolito, we learned HTML and coding, how to make your own website. And through that, we were introduced to X Pages. And my first web page was just like random things about me. It was part of a school project. And we also had to create like a guest book and all of that. And if you know what all these terms are, then you are my peoples. Like, we're here. Subscribe. You're my peoples. And then I went on to GeoCities and I taught myself how to like build pure like fan sites using image mapping, using HTML coding, using I never got to use Flash. I feel like now as an adult, I probably might still, like, I might be able to get it. When I was younger, I couldn't understand Flash. I also didn't have the graphic skills. Like, I knew the coding, but as far as graphics, like, I was still pretty rough with it. So I ended up having a 3LW fan site, a TLC fan site, a Little Eddie. If y'all know who Little Eddie is, I love Little Eddie. I still do to this day. Little Eddie fan site, Lumity fan site. This is what I did. Like, I wasn't allowed to go outside, so I was home creating fan sites on the computer, and I would do them in like a day. Like, my web design skills, they're not the most amazing and the greatest, but I'm pretty quick with it. So I applaud myself with that. And I did that all the way to like, I was like 24. I had an Adrian Balon fan site. It was just kind of like my thing. It was like my little thing to like be home and just not be out in the streets and doing all of that. And obviously I'm from the generation that we had MySpace and we had HTML coding on MySpace. So I always had my own website. The first iteration of my website was called crypticdreams.com, and it was a blog, because I used to blog. And I actually found one of my old blogs from, I forgot the name of the website, like Live Blog or something like that, or Live Journal. I deleted it. I found it and deleted it. Cryptic Dreams was one of my first websites, sorry. I keep mixing them up. And then from there, I stopped for years. And it's always been something that I've always had fun with. So back in, I want to say 2016, I was like, I want to have a website, an official website for myself. I just think that this is only my opinion. I don't know if there's facts, if there's statistics behind this, but I feel like when you're a professional in your field or a creative, I feel like having an online portfolio that's deeper than Instagram, that's deeper than, you know, social media, it speaks volumes, and it speaks to a lot about you. Like collecting all of your work and keeping it in one place for it to live on the internet, so that, you know, people can find you, and people, you know, your followers or whatever have somewhere to find this information for you. And it's important to have your own little nook on the internet. I think so. Other people may not agree, and that's fine. A lot of people say that, you know, Instagram is your new resume, but your website is still your website. Like, you still need that. And I believe that too. Like, you know, I have all these things. I have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, but a website is a, you know, it's a website. You know what I mean? So let's log on. I actually redesigned it, which I'm in love with it. I visit it like once a day. So www.ruzalez.com. And so once we get to the home page, as you guys can see, I use Wix, so wix.com. Pretty user friendly, pretty graphics friendly, as you guys can see. So you're met with my message. I'm a big fan of like the aesthetic of like computers and like the windows and all of that. So when I started with a blank page. And my thought process was like, I'm really loving this font right now. It's the Debí Tirar Más Fotos font, and I'm really loving it. Under it, I put like how you pronounce my name, because a lot of people don't know how to pronounce it. So that's the pronunciation of it. A photo of me. Shout out to Grainy Days, one of my favorite photos. It's about 2 years old now, so I gotta actually touch up my photos again. And then a message from me. Hola, I'm Ruben Gonzalez, dancer, choreographer, YouTuber, podcaster, certified party friend, hip-hop and reggaeton connoisseur, obsessed with 2000 girl groups. Yes, I still know all the choreography. Yeah. Welcome to my corner of the internet. This is the spot to get to know me a little bit better, check out my work, and maybe even connect. Feel free to explore, kick off your shoes, and make yourself at home. Pretty self-explanatory, just something welcoming the guest. I actually use ChatGPT for everything, so I type everything out and then I write on ChatGPT so that it can give it some more character, and then I take it from that. Then there's a little section for you guys to check my Spotify playlist. It's something that I love to do, and you'll actually see a little surprise at the end of this video. Something that I'm going to start doing with my weekly vlogs and see how that catches on. But yeah, my Spotify playlist, you click one of the icons. I thought that was pretty fun, pretty abstract, and it brings you to my 3 playlists that I've been kind of like toggling back and forth with. And then under, you can subscribe to the YouTube. You know, I'm always trying to push this YouTube, trying to get these followers up. I mean, these subscribers up. Shout out to all 110 or 118 of y'all. I could be wrong, but let me just double check, because I don't want to sound thirsty. How do you check that though? Oh, on your dashboard. I have 113 subscribers. I got 3 subscribers in the last 28 days. So it's not the most glamorous, but I'm a small YouTuber and I ain't stopping anytime soon. So, and then at the bottom, you see my name again, and then my 3 social medias that I use the most. I don't have a Twitter. If you see a Twitter account with my face on it, let me know, because I've created Twitters and I forgot the logins. So yeah. Then you click on the menu, which is one of my favorite parts. Ready? Boom. Oh, watch out, papi. El menú. One of my favorite parts. Okay. So very technology forward, very like aesthetically pleasing. The colors are pretty funky, fun. We're gonna go to the About page, which is another page that I'm obsessed with. I made it like if it was a text conversation. I thought it was pretty fun. I love the idea behind that. Like, I'm having a conversation about my history, about my life, and you know, it's basically just me talking to me. But I thought it was pretty cool, pretty different. When I started this page, I was like, how am I gonna do this? Like, and then I was like, wait, just do it like if you were having a text conversation. Let's see how that would look. And it came out with this. Again, I typed my biography up, ChatGPT rewrote it, and I'm a proud ChatGPTer. I don't care. Back to that amazing menu, we go to the vlogs page. On the vlogs page, this was pretty fun. I think of this little graphic in the corner of like kind of like a bookmark. And then you can subscribe directly to the YouTube. I'm not the craziest about this page because unfortunately Wix, with their little YouTube, I don't know, their YouTube feature, it's not the greatest. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the greatest. I have to do my research and find something a little bit better so that I can, what I would like for it to do is for all my latest vlogs for it to show, and unfortunately it doesn't do that. You have to like do this weird way of loading vlogs in, and I ain't got time for that. I want it to just update itself. There's no reason I should have to log on weekly to update my website. And then a little marquee reminding you, please subscribe to view all my content, with a little smiley face, and the footer follows you everywhere. We go back to that amazing menu and click on dance. This is another page that I'm really proud of. It's a little grid, kept it like having all of my dance history from my early on career to my midlife career to where I am now. I actually got to go in and update the now because I've done some work recently with Quam, and I actually did a music video. I got a story time for y'all on that, so it's pretty exciting. And then go back to the menu, and I just added this page the other night because I was like, wait, I have nothing showcasing my podcasting. So my podcast page, my podcast history, of course, the iconic, the always imitated, never duplicated Sofrito Speaks. You can still listen to us, you can still subscribe, you can still listen to old episodes, and then there's 2 interviews that we actually got to do outside of the show. I think there was a third one that it's not a visual, so I couldn't add it. And then the briefly lived Reality podcast. The synopsis was pretty simple. I interviewed artists and creatives. The YouTube page, the podcast was actually featured on Billboard for Samo, one of the artists who got highlighted through Billboard, and they used the interview that we did as his video, and on the page on the Billboard website lived my episode, which was pretty cool. It's no longer there. I tried to search it. And then the store, which it's a work in progress. Like, if y'all want to buy something and support, you get the Trust the Process t-shirts, which were a big bang. The Trust the Process tote bag. Little things that I've done here and there, like Don't Mind Me, I'm Healing t-shirt, my original t-shirt with the evil eye or whatever. My landscape sweaters, which if you know, you know. Like, these are one of the, you know. And then the Reality podcast merch that I had created for it. With the new logo, because if you didn't know, I was planning to relaunch the Reality podcast, and then I put a sudden halt on that. A lot of things coming, a lot of things happening. Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. You can contact me with this little email icon right here, a hand-drawn envelope, and if you go back to the homepage, that's pretty much it. So it's also mobile optimized. I checked it myself on my phone. It looks pretty good. It doesn't do everything that it doesn't pop the same way on a mobile as it does on desktop. So I'd be weary a little bit. I'd want to visit it on a desktop. But yeah, make sure you guys go check it out. RuZalez.com. You know, your boy has a website and he paid good money for it. If you have any ideas on like how to make it pop a little bit more, comment it down below. If you have any ideas of like what we can do to kind of like get more interaction. I was thinking of doing a newsletter, but yeah, I did a newsletter before for like at the top of each month, and I did like 6 of them, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty chill. I had like 13 or 14 subscribers, so it's pretty fun. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe we'll start it again. Maybe we won't. And yeah, so I hope you guys like my website and the history of me and web design. Anyways, on to the next section.
No, I could carry that for you if you want.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
So cool.
Pretty face car on 10. Body right, got her looking. My type, total spin that thing. I like what I like. 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 Ask him what he like about me. Body so petite, make him right about me. Claiming that he love me, gon' do right by me. I'm the baddest in the room, none in sight like me.
Otros 11 bonitos que veo en San Juan, disfrutando de todas esas cosas que extrañan los que se van, disfrutando de noches de esas que ya no se dan, que ya no se dan, pero queriendo volver a la última vez. Ya lo sabes, te miré y contarte las cosas que no te conté y tirarte las fotos que no te tiré. Ay, tengo el pecho pelado.